Have you ever, like, looked at a gold ring and wondered just how it got here? I mean, it's not like gold nuggets just grow on trees, right?
Right. It's really fascinating, actually. We're talking about a journey that starts not in a mine, but somewhere much bigger.
So are we talking, like, outer space big here?
Way bigger. Even think supernovas.
Okay, now those I've heard of, but to be honest, they sound kind of like something out of Star Wars.
Think even bigger than that. Picture a star, way bigger than our sun, running out of fuel. Basically, it's this huge cosmic balancing act going on.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Come on.
So you've got the star's own gravity trying to crush it inwards while the energy from fusion is pushing outwards, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
And when that energy runs out, the whole thing collapses and fast.
Whoa, so that's the supernova.
Exactly.
And our sources mention these things can outshine entire galaxies.
Yeah, for a short time at least. It's hard for us to even imagine that much energy.
It's just so much power.
Yeah.
So gold is created in this huge explosion.
Well, not just the explosion itself, it's more about what happens during all that chaos.
Okay, so there's more to it than just the big boom. What's going on during that tiny amount of time to make gold?
It's like nuclear fusion, but like on steroids, and it happens incredibly fast. We're talking rapid neutron capture.
Okay, break that down for me.
So picture all these atoms bouncing around in this crazy supernova inferno.
Okay, got it.
Then suddenly they're bombarded by all these neutrons, and they're moving insanely fast.
So it's like cosmic atomic billiards?
You got it, and it happens in seconds, just this massive chaotic flash, and bam, heavier elements.
Including gold.
Especially gold. It takes a huge amount of energy to form gold, way more than even a star can create during its entire life.
Wow, so it takes that supernova to make it happen.
Exactly.
That's insane. So all that just to create these tiny gold atoms.
And it's not just gold either. We see other heavy elements form this way too, platinum, uranium.
It's mind-blowing that all that's happening way out there.
And then all that stardust gets scattered across space. I'm talking light years.
So how does it get to Earth? Is it just rain gold?
Not quite. Think about that cloud of debris from the supernova, right? It gets flung out across the universe, and over millions, even billions of years, it drifts through space, carried by stellar winds.
It's like a cosmic game of pinball.
In a way. And eventually, some of those atoms, a tiny fraction, really end up in a cloud of gas and dust, the kind that our solar system came from.
Wait, are you saying that our planet, even us, is made up of exploded stars?
In a way, yes. As our solar system formed, gravity pulled the heavier elements like iron towards the center, forming the Earth's core.
And gold, too.
And gold, too. Most of it's locked down there, deep underground. But over millions of years, geological processes brought some of it closer to the surface.
So like volcanoes. So we've got gold being made in these huge star explosions, then traveling across the universe for billions of years and then becoming part of our planet. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it like that. What about the first time humans actually found this stuff, though? When did we realize it was special?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. Because it's not just a story about the universe. It's a human story, too. Gold is really deeply connected to our history and cultures.
So what kind of impact did this stardust-turned treasure have on early civilizations? What's a good example?
Well, take ancient Egypt, for example. To them, gold wasn't just shiny. It was the color of the sun. It was the skin of the gods.
Wow. So they basically covered everything in what they thought was the essence of the gods.
Pretty much. They used it to cover their tombs and temples. They thought it had a really deep connection to the divine.
No wonder they valued it so highly. But gold's appeal goes way beyond just one culture, right?
Oh, absolutely. Think about the Romans for a second.
Yeah.
They were known for being pretty practical, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And they chose gold to be their currency.
Makes sense. It's pretty valuable.
But it wasn't just about how it looked. Gold lasts a really long time, it's durable, and it's scarce. So it was really stable and trustworthy for trade, and not just in their own empire either.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it. This thing that was created in this huge, chaotic explosion became a symbol of power and longevity for so many different cultures across the world. But it wasn't always an easy ride, was it? I mean, history's full of stories about people fighting over gold.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a dark side to gold too. It's been a source of conflict and greed. Think about the conquistadors in the New World.
Yeah, they weren't exactly known for their peaceful trading practices.
Not really. They were obsessed with finding gold, and it led to a lot of really terrible things. Exploitation, enslavement. Entire empires were destroyed because of it.
It's a good reminder that even something as beautiful and valuable as gold can bring out the worst in us. It's like a reflection of how we treat all kinds of resources, really.
Exactly. And the thing is, gold's story isn't just ancient history. it's still shaping our world today in ways we probably don't even realize.
It's like how we were talking about gold being in our electronics. It blows my mind every time I think about it. So
Yeah.
the same stuff that Cleopatra wore is now in my smartphone.
Yep. Gold is really important in a lot of technology because of its properties, like how well it conducts electricity and how it doesn't corrode. That's why it's in everything from smartphones and computers to spacecraft and medical equipment. It can do it all.
So this stardust is now powering our digital world.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So we're talking about modern uses of gold now then, right? So it's not just about being a good conductor, right? There's more to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Gold is also incredibly malleable. Like you can hammer it into sheets thinner than a human hair.
Okay, now I'm picturing someone with a tiny hammer and a gold nugget. But seriously, what kind of tech are we talking about?
Think like microchips. The tiny ones in our phones and computers. They use gold in the wiring because it's such a good conductor. And it won't corrode either. And those gold connectors you see on cables,
Oh yeah, those always look so fancy.
they're not just for show. Gold makes sure you've got a reliable connection even after using it for years.
So every time I'm scrolling on my phone, I'm holding a little piece of a star in my hand.
That's so cool. Okay, but we also mentioned medical stuff earlier. What about that?
Oh yeah, gold nanoparticles are super interesting for medicine. Because of their size and how they work, they can interact with our cells in really specific ways.
So what does that look like in real life?
Well, imagine using them to deliver drugs, but only to cancer cells, for example. That way the healthy cells aren't affected. And they could even be used as tiny sensors to find diseases super early on. We're still in the early stages, but it's really promising stuff.
So gold could change how we fight diseases. It's come a long way from just being shiny jewelry and ancient talismans.
It really has. It just goes to show that sometimes the things we think of as precious have the most unexpected origins.
Like being forged in an exploding star billions of years ago.
Exactly. We usually think of gold as this rare metal, which it is, but it also reminds us that we're all part of this huge interconnected universe.
It's really amazing when you think about it. Those atoms in your body and that gold ring you might be wearing it all came from a star.
It really makes you think.
It does. So next time you see something made of gold, take a second to remember where it came from. You might just see the world a little differently.
And who knows? Maybe you'll be inspired to uncover some hidden stories of your own.
Now that's something to think about. Thanks for coming on this journey with us into the wild world of gold. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.